Hello humans, Master Dinner Flex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today I'll be going over a few combos with Despia Darklord. Now, like I said in the deck profile I made, this deck is very what is in your hand is your combo, and not so much card interactions that make a combo. So whatever your 5-card hand is, just depends what combo you get. So I'm going to go over 2, and these are going to be like bigger card requirement combos, just because you need a lot of cards, like I said, to figure out what you want to do. But like I said, I'll go into some basic ones, and these are going to introduce cards that were not in my deck profile, just because I'm testing more cards in the deck, and some of the interactions that they cause. Now for this first hand, we have Superbia, Banishment of Darklords, and Albert. Now this is like 3 cards you can see, but to do this very specific combo, you can very easily just have multiple different versions to get to this. But let's just show off this version because it's pretty simple. We're going to start off normal summon Albert, and then we're going to search and activate the field spell. We're going to activate Banishment, and what we want to do is we want to search any copy one. So for this sake, we'll use Yugioh. And now we are going to fusion summon. Since we don't know what the rest of our hand is, we don't want to just gamble an Yugioh drawing the 2 monsters we need, since we already have them. And then we will make the first Darklord. We'll activate the first Darklord's effect to special summon Superbia, and Superbia will special summon Yugioh. Now we will copy Banishment of Darklords, and we are going to search a trap called Darklord Enchantment. And what it is send 1 Darklord you control or in your hand to the graveyard to, at resolution, take control of a monster. None of their traps or spells target. Keep that in mind. And now what we're going to do is link the Superbia and Yugioh into IP, and we are going to set enchantment and end our turn. Now this is one of the very, very simple combos. This doesn't go very elaborate or very hard, but that's just because this is just a basic demonstration of this combo. So on our opponent's turn, at a resolution of one of their effects, we will activate the first Darklord, and we will special summon Superbia, which of course special summons Yugioh. And now when they try to commit a decently sized monster, we will activate enchantment and take control of that monster. Alright, that's good. So right here is our opponent's monster. And if your opponent has a brain, they would just try to end their turn here. Because what you can do now is, if they try to still commit into your board, you can use Yugioh to take their other monster. And at the resolution of taking their monster, we will use IP's effect, and we will link away both of your opponent's monsters and the IP into Appaloosa with 3 materials. So we stole both of our opponent's monsters and made a boss monster out of it. So that is kind of fun. That's just one of the more basic combos. I'm going to go into another one because I want these quick combos to effectively be like a resource guide. When you're trying to play this deck, you can come back to these and look at these in the future. But let's go into another one. Now for this next one, I'm actually just going to draw a random hand, and I'm going to figure out what I want to do, because this one's a little interesting. But I say, let's go ahead and get started. We will activate Despia, Theater of the Branded. We will just go ahead and fusion summon right now. Let's not waste any time. Let's not give our opponent time to use hand traps. And then we will make the first Darklord. And then we will activate the first Darklord. Oh, well, no, Dramaturge triggers. Alright, so here's where we're at right now. I think what I'll do is... let's go ahead and normal summon Albert. We will activate Albert, and since we already have the field spell, let's just search Screams the Branded, because this is going to be a discard outlet, I think. And now we are going to link summon into Condemned Darklord. We're going to discard this. And we are going to add to our hand Darklord. Actually? Okay, yeah, we'll actually send this instead. So now, since we have not used the first Darklord at all yet, we are going to special summon Superbia, which will special summon Indulged. And then Indulged we are going to trigger. We are going to add the first Morningstar to our hand. And we are going to give our opponent Capricious. Again, like I said, I'm kind of testing like some of the cards I wasn't playing earlier just to find out their like utilities. Next, what I think I will do, since we kind of have everything we want, I think I will just make these IP, and then in phase we'll heal 1,000 by Condemned. Now on our opponent's turn, we can always IP when we revive Superbia and get another thing, like Dramaturge. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to wait for my opponent to find out what they want to do with Capricious. Because very simply, if our opponent links away Capricious, what happens is their field, all of their field loses 1,000 attack, so now attacking over the IP isn't a real possibility. But then afterwards, we would activate the first Darklord, and we will revive Superbia, and then Capricious. And then after the resolution of these summons, we are going to go Chainlink 1 Capricious and Chainlink 2 IP. We are going to link these 3 away into Apollosa for 3. And then afterwards, Capricious allows us to tribute summon this Morningstar. But wait, why would you want to tribute summon? You have like only a handful of monsters on board. But that's where Condemned Darklord comes in and makes this interesting. And this card allows you to tribute summon fairies by banishing 2 monsters from your graveyard for a tribute summon of 2 tributes. So instead of actually tributing monsters, we can tribute Morningstar by banishing this IP and then just anything else you want. Let's just banish Ukobak. So now on tribute summon, because if your opponent controls 1 monster, that's fine, but we're wanting to wait until they control 2 monsters, and when they do control 2 monsters, we will then special summon Ixchel and Ukobak out of the deck. And Ukobak on summon will send any of the traps. So after all that, you force your opponent to lose all their attack. We now have a board where your entire board is untargetable. We have 3 monster negates, and we have a pop with Ixchel, and then next turn this is all just game. So very, very easily, we have managed to create a game state where your opponent just cannot do much of anything. And that's just kind of what this deck is. It's all about these interactions on your opponent's turn, and they're all subject to change. There's like no one combo based on 1 to 2 cards. It's like, this hand can do this, but this hand can also do that or this or that. So it's all about knowing which matchup you want to go into, because this same hand, if you wanted to play against a trap deck, Herald of Mirage Lights was also an option, and instead of doing that whole Morningstar setup, you could have added Capricious to your hand, so when the Mirage Lights discards to negate one of their cards, they also lose a bunch of attack based on how many fairies we control, and then they can't attack over Mirage Lights this turn, nor Condemn Darklord, so they all get their effects next turn. So that is really powerful. It's a lot of interactions like this, where you just make a board that's super interactive and super disruptive. All your stuff has like a large resistance to most of the cards they can use, and then you just make a board accordingly, and then next turn OTK, because all these monsters are massive. 3,000, 4,000, 2,500. Like there is no turn 3 if you get a successful battle phase. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you guys want to see any more of this deck, let me know. Because now I'm starting to test the more toolboxing cards like Capricious, the other traps, and Screams of the Brain. I'm just testing these out to see what I like. There definitely might be an optimal build, but I don't think it would look like what a normal conventional build does. Because what I learned through testing is there's no reason to streamline the monsters, since a lot of the times the monsters only act as fusion materials. Like, this doesn't matter if it's more of the same names, like Capricious, just because it's always a fusion material, and it might even just be a little better to have it be Capricious, just because it does something different from more of the same names. You don't want diminishing returns on your card, so maybe just playing a bunch more different names might actually be useful. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.